Welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do a video that's all about what you should expect to hear when you're expecting. So disclaimer, for anybody that's watching this that has asked me these questions or said these things to me, they aren't offensive to me. This video isn't about what things offend people during pregnancy or anything like that. This is just what you should expect to hear while being pregnant. So let's just jump right in. The number one thing I want to say is just an abundance of questions in general. So there's numerous very common questions that you'll be asked over and over and over and over again. And I definitely don't take offense to that because it actually shows that people really care, because they wouldn't even bother asking if they didn't. But there are questions like, when are you due? How far along are you? Do you know the gender yet? Do you have any names picked out yet? You will get these questions all the time, but there's one of us and hundreds of them, and I think sometimes people forget that. I feel like if I go somewhere where I'm about ready to see a lot of people I know, maybe I should just make an announcement when I first get there, giving everybody all the information so I don't have to answer the same question 50 times over and over again. So number 2 on my list, are you going to breastfeed? I get asked about breastfeeding all the time, and the thing is, the people that ask me about breastfeeding the most are those who have an opinion.
Oh, wow, is he hungry already?
I guess so.
You know, it's something funny about sneakers. I'll be right back.
So, I personally do plan to breastfeed. My goal is a year. That is my plan, and I'm sticking to it. Everybody has their own opinions about breastfeeding, whether it's important or it's not, or, if you should do it for a couple months or a few years. And, I don't judge anybody based on what they decide they want to do. And they have information and opinions on standby as soon as you answer. So if your answer isn't exactly what they believe is right, you may get a mouthful about their opinion. And I have learned that, everybody that's giving you their opinion, just doing it out of the kindness of their heart, they are wanting to make sure you have all the information that you need, especially somebody like me who is a first-time mom. So I have learned just to listen to their opinion and thank them for the information. And if it is something that was helpful, great. If not, it didn't hurt me to hear out what they had to say. So number 3, are you going to go back to work after you have the baby? I have actually been asked this more than I expected. I didn't even expect to be asked this question. I just thought that was a very strange question to be asked, and I got asked this question by only men, which, yeah, it's one of those subjects that it's just like, why are you asking me that and not my husband? Or, like, you have kids, did you get asked that question? Why do you assume that I'm just not going to go back to work? I don't know. It's, again, one of those little touchy subjects that I don't really want to get into. I'm not looking for a debate here, but I have a lot of friends that are stay-at-home moms, work-at-home moms, people that go back to the office after 6 weeks. It's whatever they want to do. If they can figure it out financially to stay at home with their babies, like, go for it. That's amazing. More power to the stay-at-home mom. It's a lot harder than people probably think it is. Number 4 is sleep. I, will say something like, oh, I didn't get any sleep last night. And the most common response is, you better get used to it because here in a few months you won't be sleeping at all. Obviously, I already know that as soon as the baby comes, I'm going to have a lot of sleepless nights because baby becomes priority, and I have to wake up to feed the baby and change the baby and snuggle the baby, and I'm so prepared mentally for that. I'm obviously going to be exhausted, and I'm sure I'll break down and probably just cry and become this hormonal, emotional mess. Because of not having any sleep after having the sweet little baby. But I obviously already know that. You know, you hear it so often, it just becomes like, I know, like, I get it. I will never sleep again. I get it, okay? I understand what it means to be a mom. Number 5, caffeine. So I drink 1 cup of coffee every single morning. And honestly, I rarely ever finish that cup of coffee. I'll drink like half of it, and it honestly usually makes my stomach hurt or give me acid reflux, and then I just throw it down the sink. I also sometimes give in and have a soda. I like soda sometimes. It's just one of those things that you're allowed to have a certain amount of caffeine while being pregnant. I'll be drinking a cup of coffee and somebody will be like, "There's not caffeine in that, is there?" And I'll be like, no. Or somebody will be talking about Starbucks and I will say, "Oh, that sounds so great." And they'll be like, "Oh, but you can't even have that, honey." I'm like, "Yeah, I can. I can have Starbucks if I want Starbucks." Starbucks. This is water, but you know what I mean. I can have Starbucks. One of my favorite things from Starbucks is actually their green tea, which has a little bit of caffeine in it, but hardly any. You're gonna get asked about what you're drinking or eating. Just be prepared for that. Number 6, labor and delivery. People are going to ask you, do you plan on doing this unmedicated or natural? Do you plan on having an epidural? Do you have an opinion about C-sections? And, I always say the same thing. I have a plan, but I'm completely comfortable with veering from that plan if it's necessary for me or the baby. As far as C-sections go, if the doctor's like, "You need to have a C-section because you and your baby's life depend on it," obviously I'll have a C-section. I hope and plan to have a fully natural, unmedicated birth. Ew, it's gonna hurt really bad, and I've gotten to this point where I'm just not scared of labor anymore. I'm nervous about the pain, and I don't know what to expect because I'm a first-time mom, and this is the first time I'm ever going to go through this. I have a lot of faith in myself that I can do it unmedicated, but again, I've never done this before, and there may be a point where I just can't do it anymore and I choose some pain medication or an epidural, and that's fine. But the thing you'll hear a lot is opinions about what you should do. Some people, when I talk about having a natural unmedicated birth, they instantly are just like, "Oh no, you are way too small for that," or, "Oh, you're not going to be able to do that. There's no way you'll get through without an epidural." It's different for everybody. It's really hard to stay positive when it's such a, painful ordeal, and hearing all those negative stories and all that doubt from people, it makes it difficult to have confidence in yourself. So I try to just ignore any negative feedback when it comes to labor or my decisions about how I want my labor to go, and I focus on all the positive stories and the positive affirmations, and people only are telling you these things because they care. Number 7 is hearing people say, "Oh, things have changed so much since I had a baby," or, "Times have really changed."
You could change.
You think I can change?
Yeah, they kind of have. There's a lot of things that have changed over the years. Even within the last few years, I'm sure there's been a lot of changes when it comes to procedures and medicine and, all of that stuff. Sometimes people might think, an idea that you have or even something your doctor told you is a little over the top. A very common one for me is I was told that with lunch meat, you want to warm it up in the microwave until it's steaming because there's a bacteria that it kind of cooks away, and it's just better safe than sorry kind of situation, just like not to eat runny eggs because of salmonella, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people I know that had children, 20, 30 years ago are kind of surprised by those kind of instructions just because they weren't told that, and we obviously turned out fine. You'll hear that kind of stuff a lot, and again, you just listen to people's opinions, and if it doesn't benefit you, then you don't have to take their advice and just move past it. But you will hear that all the time. Number 8, exercise. So you have people who will encourage you to exercise and like full force, go get it, girl. And then you'll hear people that are a lot more worrisome and don't want you to exercise. You can go on walks, but that's about it. Don't do anything else. People are just concerned because there's the baby's safety. Other people really think fitness is the way to go. I think it really depends on how active you were before pregnancy. I personally wasn't active at all. I am a couch potato, so I now am still a couch potato. Actually, I probably work out more now than I did before pregnancy because the doctor recommended that I keep my heart rate up, and I do exercise occasionally. So I go on walks a lot. I, have a little tiny workout routine I do, and I think that's really going to help me. I'm actually going to do a video about the workout routine I do, and everything I'm doing, especially now in the 3rd trimester, is in my head preparing me for labor. So I will definitely share that with you guys here soon. Number 9 is when somebody asks you if you're having a boy or a girl, you will answer the question, I'm having a boy. And sometimes they'll come back with the question, were you disappointed? No. I wasn't at all. There might be some people out there that are a little disappointed, if they already have a couple boys and they really wanted a girl, there may be a little bit of disappointment there. But as soon as you find out what you're having as far as being a boy or a girl, you're just so excited to know, what the sex of the baby is that's growing inside of you. You don't care. I'm just so excited that I'm having a baby. Yeah, I want a girl, and hopefully in the future I do have one. But if I have all boys, I'm going to be just as equally excited and love them the same. But that question really threw me off, so just be prepared to have an answer for, were you disappointed? Last thing I'm going to touch on is touching. So this isn't really something somebody says to you, but just expect that when you walk in a room and you're glowing and your stomach is out and proud, people are just going to swarm to your belly. They seriously will not even hug you or pay attention to you as a person. They will go straight for the stomach. When you see in movies and somebody does this awkward hug, handshake thing because one person went for a handshake and the other went for the hug. Same thing.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's good.
Ow.
I always go in for the hug and they go in for the tummy. Then I'm hugging somebody that's hovering into my belly, and it's just oh, okay, yeah, oh, okay. It's the weirdest thing. People that really care about you and a baby that you're growing, they just want to feel close to you. So if you really don't like people touching you, that might be something you want to tell people in advance. I don't really like being touched. Just ask me before you jump in and touch my belly. But if you don't care, I don't. Just expect it when you walk in a room that some people are going to swarm you and just want to cup. They just want to cup your belly. They just want to be baby in the belly. Just expect it. So that's what you should expect to hear or experience when you're expecting. Those were my top 10. I'm sure there's more. If you guys have other things that you hear a lot or have experienced during pregnancy, then please comment those things below. I would love to hear them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like pregnancy, motherhood, and lifestyle type videos, please subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye! So let's just, and I have, excuse me. So yeah, if you like this video, give it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm not trying to plug anything or something crazy, but I am starting a business, and it's called For Us and Our Littles, hashtag For Us and Our Littles. And this is going to be a little Amazon store that I'm starting. It's going to have things for not only us parents, but also our little sweet children. And I am working on my very first product right now. It's kind of a surprise, so I want to get samples of the product first, and so I can take some good pictures, and then I'm going to announce what the product actually is. So Definitely follow me on all of my For Us and our little social media if you want to be one of the first to know once that product has launched. Also, in the description, there's a mailing list you can join if you want me to email you when the product is available. It's going to be mommy baby related. Anybody that's on that mailing list and probably a part of the social media is going to get a discount no matter what come launch time for the product. I know right now you really don't know what it's gonna be, but if you want something discounted that is baby mommy related, definitely follow that social media and join that mailing list. Everything's in the description below, and I just wanted you guys to know. I'll probably mention it a few more times throughout my videos. I just really want to make sure all of the people here on YouTube get the opportunity for a discount when my product comes, hopefully in July, before baby comes. So anyway, that's it. Didn't mean to plug my business like a crazy person. Whatever.